Hi everyone, welcome back to another Credit Operations Fraud Management Path to Lead Hype video. Today we're going to look at what are the best practices when it comes to know your people. Today we'll look at why know your people is essential for an effective coaching conversation. We'll also discuss the importance of time management. And finally, we'll look at what are some things you can do to be present and connect emotionally with your coachee. Listen and take notes. And as you watch the hype video, I want you to think about what makes preparation impactful to the coaching conversation. This video shouldn't take more than 10 minutes. Your coaching transformation journey will focus on the following 4 concepts that, when practiced, will improve your coaching conversations and ultimately your coachee's performance. So let's explore Know Your People. And for this section, we're going to look at what coaching skills you can incorporate to start your coaching sessions off on the right note. Now, let's start with people first planning. I have a question for you. What are your big rocks? If you don't know what I'm talking about, I encourage you to look up a gentleman by the name of Stephen Covey. Stephen is the author of the book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. In that book, Stephen talks about how the big rocks represent your main priorities and long-term goals, and the little rocks, or gravel, represent your day-to-day responsibilities and short-term goals. Or let's call it the less essential tasks. Simply put, if you prioritize the small tasks first, the gravel, you run the risk of not having enough time in the day to tackle the more important tasks, the big rocks. However, if you prioritize the big rocks first, you will inevitably create a more balanced schedule. As people leaders, your team represents the big rocks. The first thing about knowing your people is making sure you carve out time in your day to schedule all of your folks' coaching times and send them your coaching invites 2 weeks in advance. By scheduling your coaching events 2 weeks out, you set clear expectations for your coachees as to when you'll be meeting. And you also provide enough notice for our workforce partners to ensure your coaching sessions will have the least impact on department service levels. This will allow your day-to-day tasks to run more smoothly. It also 100% holds yourself and your coachees accountable. And because people first planning falls under the big rock category, it's recommended that you color code your coaching invites, as these meetings are most important and can't be missed. Your meeting invite should include agenda items or a summary of what you plan to discuss during your coaching session. Also, hold your coachees capable and ask in the invite if there's anything they would like to add to the agenda. But make sure it's coaching related. And remember, honor your coaching sessions and avoid moving it. Next, be prepared for coaching using observations and data trends. Your preparation will take your coaching conversations from good to great. So listen to a recorded call and document the observations you would like to review with your coachee. Review some data trends in advance to know what KPIs your coachee is excelling in and where they need improvements. Path to Lead is about complete transparency. So let's not surprise our coachees when you meet with them. Send your observation notes or their performance results before the meeting, so your coachees come prepared to discuss. After all, we want to create a safe environment for them to share their insights. Knowing your people means knowing your coachee's strengths, motivations, and opportunities. Data trends will often tell a story about your coachee's ability to perform toward their objectives. For example, did your coachee improve in any KPIs? Did they reduce their handle time? Make sure to recognize them for their improvements and ask them how they did that. Remember the neuroscience in the first module and how positive coaching leads to coachees feeling better about their work? And if you don't know what motivates your coachee, that's okay. Make sure to ask them. Your coachee's motivations and skills inform you about the type of coaching they require. Will is the desire to achieve and the degree of confidence someone has to deal with a specific situation or task. Skill is the level of experience, training, and understanding that equips someone in a particular situation or task. We'll touch more on identifying will versus skill in future videos. But for now, knowing what motivates your coachee will help you with supporting their future goals. And finally, ask your coachees what they think they need to work on so you can support them with their opportunities. Let's look at how to be present, attentive, and care and connect emotionally with your team. Have you ever had a meeting with someone and you see that they're not fully present or engaged in the conversation? Maybe they're responding to emails or preoccupied with their phone. These distractions can lead to your coachee having to repeat themselves, where you end up losing the momentum of the conversation. Distractions can lead your coachees feeling like they're not really being listened to or not feeling valued at that moment. As a people leader, your coachee has to feel that your time together is an important part of their day. So avoid distractions. If it's a virtual meeting, have your cameras on to show you care and connect emotionally with your team. Facial expressions and body language all play a part in demonstrating your attentiveness to your coachee. And if you're going to be distracted, call it out at the beginning of the meeting. For example, "Hey Jamal, I'll be stepping away for a moment as I have an appliance being delivered at 2:15. My apologies in advance. The interruption should only be about 3 minutes." Set the expectations that you may have to step away for a moment and apologize for the inconvenience. And lastly, follow up between your coaching sessions. Use email or Microsoft Teams or any other conference platforms to ask them how their commitments are coming along. Share progress reports to celebrate wins, and ask them if they need any additional support. Make sure to connect with your coachee so their commitment is top of mind, as you'll be following up with them in 2 weeks for another coaching session. So let's quickly recap. Knowing your team should include the following best practices. 1. Send the meeting invite 2 weeks in advance. Be prepared for coaching using observations and data trends. Know your coachee's strengths, motivations, and opportunities. Be present and attentive. Avoid distractions and set expectations if you know you'll be interrupted. Care and connect emotionally with your team. Cameras on always. And follow up between coaching sessions. Send progress reports and ask how their coaching commitments are coming along. So there you have it. Knowing your people is the first step to staying connected with your folks. If you master this step and consistently do it, your coachees will come prepared to collaborate for each coaching conversation.